Hello, I'm Diane Birnholz, legal analyst and former federal prosecutor. The Manhattan DA's office is prosecuting Luigi Mangione pursuant to an 11-count indictment for first-degree murder, murder as a crime of terrorism, and an assortment of other New York State crimes. Mangione also faces charges in Pennsylvania, where he was apprehended for possession of an illegal firearm and a fake ID. In addition to these state charges, a federal grand jury indicted Mangione in a 4-count indictment, including a charge of murder. Now, I've mentioned in a previous video that murder is a state crime in every state, but murder is only a federal crime in certain limited circumstances as laid out in the US Criminal Code. There has to be a federal interest for something to be a federal crime, and that federal interest is often that the crime involves interstate commerce. So the question is, how can the murder of Brian Thompson in New York City be charged as a federal crime? So the way this was accomplished was that the federal indictment first charged Mangione with 2 counts of federal stalking. The first charging that he himself traveled in interstate commerce with the intent to kill, and the second charging that he used an electronic communication system of interstate commerce, which is namely a cell phone, in furtherance of the stalking crimes, and that he used interstate phone wires, and that he traveled on an interstate highway, and that he stayed at a hostel where interstate customers stay, and that he used the internet to plan and carry out the stalking and murder charges. So in order to cover its bases, note that the federal indictment charges multiple ways that Mangione carried out the stalking, shooting, and killing of Brian Thompson, all involving interstate commerce. So just in case one way gets challenged factually or legally, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York still has other interstate commerce situation allegations to rely on. They're smart about how they charge their cases, and here they charge multiple ways that the stalking counts can be satisfied. Then the indictment goes on to charge that Mangione, while carrying out these federal stalking crimes, used a firearm in furtherance of these crimes and caused Brian Thompson's death through the use of a firearm. That's what makes this murder a federal crime under Title 18, Section 924J. So it was critical in order for this to become a federal crime that Mangione was charged with using a gun as the weapon rather than a knife or some other weapon while committing crimes that could be charged as federal stalking crimes. Please stay tuned. There are many other questions I'm going to answer about the Mangione case. Thank you very much.